hello and welcome to Zagreb in Croatia and finals day at the men's 2018 European Handball Championships as Spain prepare to take on Sweden. My name's Paul Bray, thanks for joining us today here in this wonderful Arena Zagreb as Spain, who have never won this title, prepare to take on Sweden. The EHF flag coming in first. Spain in their fifth final. Indeed, 2 days ago they reached their eighth semi-final and yet have never won a competition. 4 silvers and 2 bronze.
Let's meet the teams, ladies and
so
gentlemen.
The team's ready to come out.
Sverige, Sweden. Number 2, the Henningsson.
So here come Sweden.
Number 5.
They are a lucky team indeed. They reached the final despite 3 defeats.
Number 7.
They had a surprise opening day defeat against Iceland in the preliminary group in Split before beating Serbia, and then the host Croatia in probably their best match of the competition in terms of handball purists. Luckily, their defeat to Iceland was cast aside as they failed to qualify with Sweden. And that was a lucky break, because in the main round group, Sweden opened up with a 17-23 defeat to France, then beat Belarus, but were beaten 25-28 by Norway in the last day of the main round. A 4-goal defeat would have opened the way for Croatia to come through. 3 goals, just enough, with a bit of help from France, of course, beating Croatia later on the same day. Meant that Sweden came through to the semi-final, and what a semi-final they played against Denmark. The Olympic champions Denmark were trailing all the way, Sweden in front despite the unavailability of Jeppsson, who had a throat infection that day, and they'd had to replace Lagergren, the right back, who was concussed and misses the rest of the competition. That was after Jakobsen had earlier been replaced as well. With their makeshift team, they led the Danes all the way. Denmark then equalized on the buzzer, and Andresson there, the coach, must have thought, oh dear, and so close and yet so far. But Sweden hung on, and in the end they made it through to the final. So time to meet the team of Spain, hoping that it will be 5th time lucky in a Euro final. They beat the Czech Republic and Hungary in the preliminary group, but then they lost 22-25 to Olympic champions Denmark. In the main round they beat Macedonia, then lost to Slovenia to set up a decider with the defending champions Germany to see which of them would go through to the semi-final. It was Spain who came out on top 31-27 to ensure we have a new champion here. In the semi-final they swept a strangely subdued France aside, leading by up to 9 goals 10 minutes into the second half before France woke up, scored 6 goals to come back, but it was too little too late, and Spain made it through to their 5th final. 38-year-old Sterbic, who was recalled for the injured Perez de Vargas, made 3 penalty saves that proved to be quite crucial, but it really underlined Spain's confidence, with Corrales playing brilliantly in goal as well that day. Spain who line up with one player making his debut, Ferran Soulé, the right winger, and what a debut he has made. Absolutely stunning European championship for the 25-year-old who plays his club handball in France for Toulouse. And second from the left is the coach, Jordi Ribera, who took over after Spain failed to qualify for the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. The referees for today's match, Matija Bubica and Boris Milosevic of Croatia. There is a host presence in the final after all. Big cheer from them, from the audience here. They refereed the final of the Women's World Championships in 2011. And multiple semi-finals. Big moment for them today. So the table officials for today, George Bebitsos of Greece and Miroslav Baum of Poland. They get their little memento as well. And then we will be nicely teed up. Earlier today, France beat Denmark 32-29 to take the bronze medal. who will step onto the gold step on the podium. We will find out in about an hour and a half's time as mementos are handed out all round. So with the presentations made, it is now time for the national anthems, and it will be Spain first. Cheers from the Spanish fans, and now the anthem of Sweden. What a moment for Sweden. So teams who played each other 21 times, 14 wins for Sweden, 7 for Spain in the Euros. It's 5-2 to Sweden. Of course, that all goes back to the Wenger boys era, the great generation of the 90s and early 2000s when they won the trophy 4 times. Can they make it a 5th time? So the lineup for Spain, Canellas and Gurbindo tend to start at the back with either Entre Rios or Sarmiento in the centre. Right winger Sully has been so impressive in his debut championship for Spain. He should start probably with Rivera on the left wing and Aguinagalde on the line. 23 goals then for the Spanish captain Raúl Entre Rios, a 55% success rate and 12 assists. One of 4 players who play for Barcelona in this Spanish team. For Sweden, we'll tell the left-back Jeppsson is fit again after missing the semi-final with a throat infection, but Lagergren concussed, he is still out. Right winger Zachariasson has tended to cover at the right-back position, though, with the struggles they have there. Gottfridsson with 27 goals and 23 assists, absolutely key in the middle. He has played a superb championship. 25-year-old who plays in Germany for Flensburg. So Andresson, who despite 3 defeats is hoping that his team can make it 5 titles from 5 finals for Sweden, while at the other end, Spain are looking for their first title from 5 finals. A few seconds still before we can get started.
We are ready. Zagreb, are you ready? Come on! Go, 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 go! The final is here!
So here we go then. Spain in the red shirts and blue shorts throw off the final of the 2018 Men's European Handball Championship final against Sweden in the yellow shirts here in the Arena Zagreb. Sweden, who play their fifth final, having always won when they reached the final, but of course not with this generation. That was back in the 90s and early 2000s, but it's Spain who get off the mark first, courtesy of Valero Rivera. Spain, who have reached 5 finals as well, but sadly in their case, lost all 5. Or I should say, sorry, lost all 4 and are hoping to make it 5th time lucky. So Zacharisson comes in at the right back position where they've had quite a few problems, Sweden. Jakobsen got concussed 3 matches ago. And then Lagergren against Norway. And it's left them with Cederholm being brought in, but less experienced. And instead, Zacharisson, normally right wing. Oh, good save, Corrales. Into the wing, though, second chance for the captain, Ekberg. Bench are on their feet. Ekberg, who plays for Kiel in Germany. Great first save. There was the follow-up. That was a superb supply into the wing by Sarmiento. As I said, Spain hoping to make it 5th time lucky. But Sweden's record is 4 finals, 4 titles. It was in 94, 98, 2000 and 2002. That's the last time they got anywhere near the silverware, or indeed the gold, at the European Championship. Iker Romero, legend of Spanish handball, in the crowd there, applauding the second goal. It's the captain, Raúl Entrerrios. Spain, who played a superb semi-final against France, controlled it to perfection. The French never got going. Into the centre comes Arneson. Barely used in the competition, Arneson. Oh, nothing given. That looked like attacking foul. It's gone into Jesper Nielsen, who scores. Jesper Nielsen scores against his club teammate Corrales. They both play in Paris for PSG. Was that an attacking foul, though? Not according to the Croatian referees. That, though, at the other end was Entrerrios' effort past Appelgren. Swedish goalkeepers have both been superb in the competition. Palička made 20 saves against Denmark in their semi-final, but so close are they that, in fact, it's Appelgren who is starting here today in the final. So Sarmiento, who brings plenty of pace to the attack for Spain, starts with Entrerrios and Gurbindo either side. Was the line player Aguinagalde. Then on the wings, Rivera and Sule, who frankly has been a revelation here at Euro 2018. 31 goals, 76% success rate. Penalty! First yellow card of the game goes to Henningsson, the defence specialist for Sweden. Number 2 there, pushing in the back. Sule steps up. He scored 14 from 17 in the competition so far. Appelgren has saved 4 as well, though. Not this one. And Farhan Sule, 25-year-old who plays for Toulouse in France, puts it over the shoulder of Appelgren, and they are back in front again. Took a little bit of the pace off the ball there as he ran his hand underneath it. 3-2 Spain. So Gottfriedsen, Arneson. Tackling foul, turnover. Back comes Spain. Slow build-up, no point rushing. Sarmiento. Sarmiento. Aguinalde comes out, drops back in again, trying to flatten the defense. Every time he goes, though, they move up onto the 9-meter line. Sarmiento, oh, so close to an interception. Good save! Appelgren. Straight down they come, and Jesper Nielsen finishes off. A nice assist from Ekberg, but Appelgren started it with a superb save. It should have been 4-2. Instead, it's 3-3. Back in comes Aguinalde, Moros, and Guardiola, the defense specialists for Spain. The rock in the middle. Gurbindo stays in on the line for the moment. Sule is there as well as Gurbindo pulls back. 3 on the line now as they tried to pull the defenders back. A lot of holding going on. And a quick word between Henningsen and Aguinalde. Gentle word in the ear. Looking for the line. Tried to put it there, nothing given. And a good start by Appelgren in goal. It's going to be a free throw. A foul on Henningsen, who'll go off, and Appelgren has made an excellent start here. 2 saves from 5 shots. Goes for a word with Palička, who made those 20 saves in the semi-final. Team spirit so strong for both of these teams. Showed real guts and determination, Sweden, playing with a makeshift back line against Denmark to lead all the way through the game. It would have been cruel had they been defeated in the end after that equaliser in the last second of the game. That's still in play. In the end, they managed to stay ahead of the Danes and make their way through to their 5th final. That's an attacking foul. Gottfridsson, the break is on. Gurbindo down the middle. Guardiola, and that's an attacking foul called against him as Zacharisson got in the way, and the Swedes are pushing the pace up quickly. Gottfridsson. Arneson. That came off a defender. Corrales picks up the loose ball, makes sure it stays with Spain. It was one of those two-footed jumps by Arneson that made sure that Sweden were through to the final. Arneson, who until then had not played a lot, as we see the members of the EHF. Up there, speaking is Michael Wiederer, the president of the European Handball Federation. To the wing, bit of space for Rivera. Good save. Although, in fairness, not the best shot by Rivera, and the break is on again. And Jesper Nielsen, yes! 3 goals already for the 28-year-old who plays for Paris Saint-Germain. Again, it started by Appelgren with his 3rd save. And he's well beaten Corrales by his club teammate Jesper Nielsen of PSG. Paris Saint-Germain. The save at one end. And Appelgren, well might he celebrate. Comes into this match with a 36% save rate. He and the other goalkeeper for Sweden, Palička, play for Rhein-Neckar Löwen in the German Bundesliga. Gurbindo through the legs of the keeper. He's making all the hard saves, and then a little slip up there as it goes through the legs. Brings them level with 9 minutes played in the final. Henningsen still on the attack. He'll have time to go off now. Jesper Nielsen and Zacharisson waiting to come on. Well, for the moment, it's just Zacharisson. Jesper Nielsen's done his bit. He's been sent down the bench as Gurbindo. He just managed to restore some order. Daria, number 7, then goes in for Jesper Nielsen, despite scoring 3 goals. Well, Andresson has constantly kept his opponents guessing at the competition. There he is, Nielsen, by turning the bench frequently, and it does unsettle the other teams as they think they've found their range against them, and then it's a different lineup on the next attack. Dario comes in, the 26-year-old, plays for Bergische. But it's Gottfridsson who scored that goal. And for the moment, Jordi Ribera's side trailing. 3-1 exchange for the Swedes, looking to try and pass, no way through there. Gurbindo, though, does win the free throw. The centre there is Frederic Peterson, the 28-year-old. Plays for Toulouse in France. He's actually club teammates with Soule, the Spanish winger. Good save this time and picked up by Ekberg. The long pass down, hampers Varner. And he beats Corrales. Quickly played down the court. And Varner, playing in his first major competition for Sweden, puts them 6-4 in front, and a team timeout has been called by Spain as we see his goal again. Hung forever to beat Corrales. Waits for the keeper to commit himself.
Al otro lado, vete para allá para que los cambios puedan ser aquí, porque el contraataque todo va por este lado. Situación de amplitud, nos pedimos aquí 1, 2, Urbi, vienes aquí, abres el espacio a este lado, pivote, corre para allá para devolver el balón a Guti que pueda trabajar aquí en la acción de 1 contra 1. Señores, el problema es el balance defensivo, hay que bajar rápido a defender. Bakåt, se till att vi fortsätter hålla höjd. Ja, jobbar runt hittspelarna. Vem är det? Grejen är den att med varje växel de har så sjunker vi lite. Håll höjd, orka håll höjden. Ja, då vi går av det. Mycket frikonstris, anfallsmässigt. Hitta bredden igen. Se till att vi har ett man i mitten på dem. Ja, och då kan vi spela.
So play resumes. First team timeout of the game taken by Spain as they go 4-6 down against Sweden. Are they going to break this Euro final curse? The 5th attempt, Spain. Or will Sweden, albeit with a completely new generation and 16 years after their last title, going to maintain their 100% record in Euro finals? Either way, someone's record is going to be broken. It's a yellow card. Goes to Arnason, number 25 for Sweden, 27-year-old in his first major competition. Arnason, who together with Varner and Henningsson are making their debut, and it's 3 against 2. Van! Oh yes! And Sweden are on a run again. They've had their ups and downs here at Euro 2018. Sweden, that's an attacking foul, and the break is on. Daria straight down the middle. One-handed catch at his feet, off the crossbar. Still in play, but the Spaniards are underneath. Soule, and the fans can't believe it. That should have been 8-4. There was the goal attempt by Varner. It was just begging to be dropped underneath the keeper. So a bit of a change at the back, then Sarmiento is off. Entre Rios moves into the centre, and Cañellas comes in at left back. Number 21, got a big shot, although he can be a tad expensive with his shooting. 35% success rate. That's his first shot off the post. Ribera looks on somewhat anxiously because the Swedes are playing this at a cracking pace. That goes wide, but it's going to be a free throw. Appelgren has already made 5 saves from 9 attempts. I'm not sure he actually moved on to that one at all, but rather managed to stay out of the way. Some fans more excited than others. For some, it's just too much. Wake me up when it's all over. 7-4, nice atmosphere here in the Arena Zagreb. Fair to say that on paper you would say Spain are the favourites here. They have been the more consistent team through the competition. But Sweden have shown absolute grit and determination. And never more so than in their semi-final against Denmark. Despite Jeppsson being back after that throat infection, you can't help but feel that in 2 days he wouldn't have cleared. That's an attacking foul by Zacharisson. That Jeppsson will not be fully fit, and certainly he hasn't played, and it's a real loss for the Swedes, but it's one that they managed to overcome in the semi-final. Jeppsson, who scored 21 goals in the competition so far. While the right-back Lagergren, who had to be replaced after being concussed against Norway, had scored 23. But very clever coaching by Andresson, who constantly kept the Danes guessing as he moved the back line around. Cañellas, Entre Rios, passive play is going to come sooner or later. Ginagaldi gets away. Nothing. It's going to be a bit of mopping, that's all, as Dujcebaev stands to look on and gets asked by the EHF supervisor, George Bebetsos. Time to sit down again. Moros de Argila there, the defensive rock of the team, with Guardiola. Gurbindo play on, oh, save! Appelgren, sixth save of the final already inside 14 minutes. And the Swedish keeper pulls off another stunning save. Andresson, that was a reaction to what he thought was the attacking foul, but then relief and a smile because Appelgren comes to the rescue. Thank you. Lovely reaction, and Palitska is hopping around behind his club teammate at Rannika Leuven, and there's what he wants, the trophy. Arneson then, Zacharisson and Gottfridsson at the back. Hampus Varner goes in as a second line player. Jesper Nielsen is back and he's very wide at the moment, deliberately waiting. Gottfridsson trying to draw it on the right-hand side. Oh, off the post, it stays out. Corrales may even have got a touch on it as Moros de Argila comes running off. They're not swapping both the defenders at the moment to try and get a little bit of transition play. The captain to the rescue. Entre Rios, second goal for the 36-year-old Barcelona back player. Midway through the second half, they're clawing their way back in. So having conceded 4 goals without reply, or 3 rather actually, jumping on my maths, Entre Rios has got them going again. Arneson into the wing, there's absolutely no space there for Varner. And Gottfridsson says, come around, get in on the back. You're wasted where you are. That's more like it, but it's stolen. Gurbindo and Sule's away. No mistake. Farhan Sule, second goal of the game. Zacharisson through the keeper, it's given. Rivera sent flying, but that's fine, says the referee. As off comes Zacharisson and Gottfridsson, not being used in defence. There was Sule's goal. Breakaway, and that, talk about a reaction there, took Corrales completely by surprise, but luckily the post came to the rescue. I don't think he actually touched it. Into the side netting by Rivera. The ball is out very quickly, and Sweden are playing their transition play at 100 miles an hour. Nicely cut out. And the Spaniards, their relief is short-lived. It's a free throw. Sweden keep possession. As Matija Gubica comes out and says, no, yellow ball. Well, Appelgren, what a game he is playing. So often he stepped up when needed. 7 saves so far as play resumes. Sweden still on the attack. Bit of shuffling going on the bench. Oh, bit of a risk by Rivera. He came running out. He just needed to look back because as soon as he did, Jesper Nielsen went into the wing where the space was, but just didn't get the ball back. Jeppson's now come on, number 5, the player who missed the semi-final with that throat infection. Oh, inside post, Corrales tempted off the line, and it's dropped back to the near post. 3-goal lead restored, and the Swedish fans are on their feet. Looks like Lucas Nielsen's haircut is catching on. Hampus Varner, one of the players making his debut at a major competition, as Corrales winces after that one. The Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper moved there from Wisła Płock last summer. Dujcebaev has now been thrown into the attack. Number 10, the son of the legendary Talent Dujcebaev, one of the greatest players of his generation. Passive play is now being called against Spain. Looking for the line. It's only a free throw, landed inside, they say. But Aguinalde at least gets the throw. Clock's been stopped with some mopping required. Spain, who've won the last 3 encounters between these teams at official competition. There was the pass into Aguinalde. And passive play still be called against them. Dujcebaev brought to a grinding halt by Henningsson. The 1.96 m defense specialist from Kristianstad, Swedish champions. Dujcebaev shoots into the defensive wall. The ball stays with Spain though, and passive play still against them. They surely can't have too many passes left. As Boris Milosevic looks on. Don't even have to be direct. Cañellas, Appelgren, save number 8. He's on fire. And Spain just can't find a way past the Swedish keeper. Cañellas planted it down on the bottom right-hand corner. Great reaction. And Sweden keep the 3-goal lead. Last encounter between these two teams was at the Rio Olympic Games qualifying tournament. Spain won the match, but still it was Sweden and Slovenia who went through at Spain's expense. And it was, in fact, the defeat that led to the call-up of Jordi Ribera to take over from Cadenas as coach. Long-range shot, Appelgren saves the follow-up! Off the crossbar, but stays in. And it's scored by Guardiola, the defense specialist, in the right place at the right time. Entre Rios save. 9th save, but he could do nothing with the follow-up. Appelgren, bit of luck going Spain's way, catches and shoots before he lands. Nearly clipped the post too hard. Still though, 2 goals in it in the final. Gottfridsson, Jeppsson. Been on now for just over a minute only, Jeppsson. 21 goals in the competition so far. He's trying to find a way around. Gottfridsson! Good save by Corrales, but he's fouled in the act of shooting. It's a penalty. And was that a bit of a mutter under his breath? Entre Rios. There's the foul again. Just jumped straight into him. Sule sent him flying. Well, all is not lost yet for Spain, because here comes Arpad Sterbik, called up for the semi-finals. Effectively out of retirement, the 38-year-old goalkeeper from Vardar Skopje. He saved 3 against France. Ekberg. None this time though. And Ekberg scores his 5th penalty of the competition. And the 3-goal lead is restored. Even the great man, Sterbik, could do nothing about that one. Thought it was going between the legs. 20 minutes played then, and Sweden still in front, just as in the semi-final against Denmark. They're making the Spaniards chase. That's off a foot, but accidental. It's accepted by the referees. It's just a free throw. The ball thrown by Entre Rios onto Varner's foot. Dujcebaev, bit of space, goes across. Cañellas straight to the line. Good. Zacharisson, quite literally, picked up the line player. It was Sule, the winger, who'd come around, and he is off for 2 minutes. The right winger who plays for Fuchs Berlin pulls back Sule off the ball. The winger a little light for Zacharisson. So a power play and a chance now for Spain. Surely Dujcebaev has got a big shot if he can just find a bit of space. Yes! Hammers it into the corner, and Appelgren is beaten this time. Dujcebaev, who raced for the bench but was told go straight back on again. Right up into the corner, superbly placed for his first goal in the final. 25-year-old who plays in Poland for Kielce, where his dad, Talent Dujcebaev, is the coach.
Linus ligger till höger, Jeppe på mittsex, Vanne, Simon. Var med på bytet och målvakt. Okej? Ja. Så jobbar vi finns vänster. Ja. Du ser bara till att hålla djupet. Om de tar bort dig så ser vi till att Linus får man situation i mitten. Han får stor yta. Se till att du har stunden kvar innan du tar hotet. Okej? Vad sa du? Det är gott och Simon som byter bakåt. Vi får in målvakt och Jeppe. Hem först.
Ahora que está Alex ahí, ¿vale? Volvemos a hacer la del doble cruce para que se coloque aquí, ¿vale? Un poco antes, pivote se va para allá y repites el pase para que te abra ahí el juego y luego jugar aquí el trabajo de la situación de uno contra uno, ¿vale? Cuidado ahora, las situaciones, cuando nos quedamos todos en el 5-1 no ir mucho para atrás. Coger la iniciativa, sobre todo ahí en el 1 contra 1 ese lado, y cuidado los extremos que vienen y vuelven. Vale, vamos a estar fuertes.
So Sweden resume, having taken their first team time out of the game, and a switch to a 5-0-1 defence, it seems, with Dujcebaev, for the moment, staying close to Gottfriedsen, forcing him to play a long way back, and of course it means that the Swedes can't quite tee themselves up. Gottfriedsen tries to go through, takes the shot, he'll get the free throw. It'll give him just a short respite. Dujcebaev points to him and says, I've got you covered. So Dujcebaev has now gone back in again. Free throw. Gottfriedsen looks across. Plays for Flensburg in the German Bundesliga. 9 goals in 7 matches for them, but here at the Euros, Gottfriedsen scored 27 with 23 assists. The ball is loose. Well, they've just got their keeper back in again, the Swedes. There's still 30 seconds to go on the power play. Appelgren raced, he's still breathing a bit. So Dujcebaev, Entre Rios in the centre. And anxious faces on the Swedish bench there because Spain hanging on for the moment into the wing. Yes! Tempted Appelgren off the post. Arina. He's come on for Rivera after a lackluster start by him. Arina, another one of the Barcelona players, gets his first. So Moros, the defender in the centre. Dujcebaev up at the front of a very deep 5-1 defence. Arnason, oh, right up in the corner. Arnason, he came into the final having played only just over an hour, and most of that was in the semi-final. Up until then, he'd played about 15 minutes in the entire competition. Talk about keeping someone ready. And with Corrales making just 3 saves from 13, Arpad Sterbik is in. Came in for the semi-final place of the injured Perez de Vargas. He'd been their first choice keeper until then. 76 international Sterbik has played for Spain, a legend of the game. Oh, dummies it and then takes it at the second attempt. That's a pass to the keeper. It'll be a free throw. Well, he was inside anyway, Arnason. There was the initial shot. Dummied the first, then tried to shoot it the second time around Nielsen. Well read by Appelgren. With the whistle going, though, that won't count as a save. He's still on 9. Over the top. Dummied the cross with Cañellas. And then took it, Entre Rios, but didn't frame it. Zacharyson. Zacharyson again, Arnason waiting in the centre. Jesper Nielsen! Superb! As soon as he hopped on his leg, Sterbik, Nielsen lobbed him. He's looking at the keeper, and the little hop comes, and as he does so, then the ball goes over. He's on the way down as the ball is heading over his head. Superb play, and that's his 4th goal, Nielsen. He's having a fantastic final. Soleil, oh yes, beats him this time. Might be a winger, he's not bad as a back either. Soleil 55-year-old who plays for Toulouse in France.
Let's go Spain, let's go Sweden.
Good pace. With less than 5 minutes to go, it's 12-10 to Sweden. First half that certainly had plenty of passion. Started at a cracking pace, and the Swedes, as soon as they get the opportunity, oh, save, Throwback! Clips the post, stays out though, and back come the Spaniards. And this time it is saved by Appelgren, but it goes out to the side. That's his 11th save of the game. That was Arina, dummied the shot and then went around Ekberg to get a better angle, but Appelgren this time read it well. There was the save by Throwback, off the arm onto the underside of the crossbar, but it stays out. Throwback, who was twice bronze medalist in the World Championships in 1999 and 2001 with the then Yugoslavia. He then won the World Championship title with Spain in 2013. In fact, 8 of the Spanish team remain here today from that took gold medal at the World Championships on home soil. That will not be given. The shot taken from inside the area, but being fouled in the act of shooting. It's a penalty. Duicebaev passes to the line. He's landed well inside the area, but clearly fouled. So Figueras wins the penalty. Appelgren stays in. Faces Sule. Scores again. Second penalty of the game, 4th goal. And they are making their way back into this. 1 goal in it. Rivera jumps to congratulate him. (4-2) turnaround. They were 8-10 down. Zacharisson all the way through, and no one got in his way. Second goal. Ball is loose. It's free throw anyway. They'll take it back for the foul. Originally on Juan Cañellas, 31-year-old who plays for Vardar Skopje, together with Arpad Throwback in goal at the moment for Spain. Sarmiento is back on again, trying to inject a bit of pace into the attack. Duicebaev. Cañellas waits in the middle. Sarmiento, he's got the foul. Free throw. Smile from Arneson, holding his own against the line. Didn't need to work very hard indeed. Cañellas goes around looking for a bit of space, doesn't find it. Duicebaev being kept a long way out as well. Ball is loose, it'll go out to the side. It came off the Swedish defence though, it's a throw-in. Arpad Throwback takes it as Duicebaev tees up again. Looks for the wing. If anything, he's in the way. The whistle's already gone, it won't count. Duicebaev blocking in the line as Moros gives his opinion on the decision. And Jordi Ribera has said something a little too much to the table. He's picked himself up a yellow card, the Spanish coach. Occupational hazard for him. Looking cool now again, though. He's got that off his chest. Duicebaev, Cañellas. Windmill feints around Darje, but is held up as Henningsen steps in to help block him. Passive play call, 6 passes when the arm goes up. That's held out, but Cañellas off the post and picked up by Vani. Looks across to see if Ekberg on the other wing's gone, but he's covered all the way. Arina staying with the Swedish captain. Well, he must be pleased with his day at the office so far, Appelgren. 11 saves already in the first half. Shot efficiency, 65% for Sweden, well above their average. 44 for Spain, well below theirs. They're both around the same in the competition. 57, 56% success rate, and Gottfriedsen, sheer grit and determination from the 25-year-old Flensburg back player, and the fans are loving it. And the 3-goal lead is back again, after the Spaniards had managed to close it back right. 11-12, suddenly opened up again, and Ribera's plan not quite working. Surely Spain are not going to be defeated at the 5th attempt still in the final. They're fighting for it though. That's Figueras, 29-year-old who plays for Granollers. Captain applauds. Entre Rios, who's playing his 234th international for Spain today, 516 goals. Absolute legend of the game. He was actually the MVP of Euro 2016. Arneson, Gottfriedsen, terrible pass to Jesper Nielsen, comfortably cut out by Canellas. 3 against 3. Ah, Dujcebaev goes for a shot halfway up the Swedish half. Jesper Nielsen catches him, and he's not a happy man, fair to say, Alex Dujcebaev. And they're still remonstrating. So half-time comes, and Spain battling away. Here it was, trying to beat the clock. Sends it flying over the goal. Well, what a first half. Sweden raced ahead. The Spaniards closed again. And then Sweden have opened up the gap. So welcome back to the Arena Zagreb and half-time in the Men's European Handball Championship final. And at the break, Sweden are leading Spain 14-12. That man there, Appelgren, has been a thorn in the side of Los Hispanos. He has made 11 saves, a 48% save rate to keep Sweden in front. And the Spaniards have been chasing all the way through. 46% success rate only on their shooting in the first half, the Spaniards, including just 3 goals from long range at 9 meters from 10 attempts, as Appelgren has mopped up everything from the back. Meanwhile, the Swedes are on a 67% success rate with their shooting, well above their average in the competition so far of 56%. So can Appelgren continue with his heroics? At the other end, Throwback has come in for Corrales, and he has played the last 7 minutes or so of the first half. And he has made 1 save from 5, still hasn't quite got into the game. The man called up as a late replacement in the semi-final for the injured Perez de Vargas. There is Corrales. He made just 3 saves from 13, below his usual standards. We're just about ready then for the second half of the final of Euro 2018 here in Arena Zagreb.
Great to be carried on with the game. Come on, everybody. Let's use our hands. On 3, 2, 1, go!
So Sweden throw off the second half of the European Championship final here in Arena Zagreb, leading 14-12 against Spain. And as in the first half, played it for a while. The Spaniards go with a very deep 5-1 defense. Almost a 5-0-1 with Gottfriedsen being the player particularly charged by Dujcebaev. A shot straight down the middle. Throwback, one of the more comfortable saves for him. Spain come forwards. And Entre Rios, the captain, slows things down as Moros and Guardiola go off, the 2 defense specialists. Sarmiento and Aguinagalde return into the attack. Sarmiento not quite managed to exert the kind of control that he had in the semi-final here. That's good. Oh yes, pulled the defence across, opens up the wing, and that's gone in. Arinho, the second of the game. The Barcelona left winger has got them back to within 1 goal. Tempted Appelgren off his post. Almost a 3-3 defence at times. Arinho is pushing up onto Zachariasson. Gottfridsson tries to go in between. Arneson. Zachariasson gets a free throw. The only option at right back, left-handed right back for the Swedes, is Cederholm, who came in as a replacement. The break is on this to level it. Oh yes! Spain are back in the game, courtesy of David Balaguer. Balaguer, who's just come on in the second half, and this deep, deep defence by Spain is troubling the Swedes. You can't get a rhythm going. And the coach, Andre Son, is looking on a little anxiously, the Icelandic coach of the Swedish team. That was so lucky for Sweden. Not now, though. It's intercepted. 2 against 1. Oh, saved by Appelgren. Knocks it onto his post, and it stays out. And back comes Sweden. Their best chance at the moment may well be on the transition, because in organised play they cannot get through the Spanish defence. Appelgren, save number 12. Team timeout for Andresson, and he's got to try and settle them down. This to equalise it. Balaguer could have taken the lead, but Appelgren got a hand to it, clipped it onto the post.
Första anfallet här, nu går in och spelar 7-6 Simon. Ja. Så Max och Simon går in. Zacke sitter, Linus ligger höger ner. Okej? Ja. Springer Simon och Jim hem och byter. Är du med på dem? Vad sa du? 1-2-3. Yes, precis. Kom ut, tro! Nej, lugna. 7-6. Var sedan med på att vi plockar ut Jeppe och jobbar med 4-9. Är du med där? Va? Nej, sen är det så här. När vi spelar 4-9, då måste vi gå för mycket bättre tempo än vad vi gör nu. Vi går in i situationerna.
Igual puede salir aquí en esta situación de fútbol. Lo demás son situaciones de 2 contra 2. Está el pivote, está controlado. Aquí el bloque, ¿vale? Claro, que tiren de fuera, ¿de acuerdo? Y lo demás que se mueva, ¿vale? Cuidado.
Si es Gottfridsson estoy más cerradito, no subo tanto. Si ataca el otro sí que subo más, Vale, con Gottfridsson.
Con 7 seguiales aquí.
Sí, pero
bajas un poco y los extremos ayudáis un poco.
Momento. Ayer hicieron.
So play resumes after Andresson called an early team timeout to really try and give some direction to his team against this very deep defence by the Spaniards. They've gone back to a slightly flatter back line, but still with Duitschebaev a long way forwards. Good save, and Sterbik to the rescue. And that is the Arpad Sterbik we are used to seeing, the 38-year-old goalkeeper. Turnover, and things are not going well for Sweden early on here, and Andresson a bit of a wince there. 2 goals early in the second half to level things up. Spain, both teams in their 5th European Championship final. Difference is Sweden have won all previous 4, albeit some generation ago, while Spain have lost all 4 of theirs, including, of course, the final 2 years ago, when they went in somewhat as favourites against Germany and lost 17-24. They were absolutely crestfallen in Poland. Can they make amends here and win it at the 5th attempt? Penalties won. Entre Rios. And Sterbik cheers at the other end. Daria gets a 2-minute suspension as well. Things are looking up for Spain all of a sudden. Dummies the pass to the line, goes straight through, and Daria just latches on and pulls him down. That was the save at the other end by Sterbik. So at the other end, Sule steps up to take the penalty, and Palička has come into goal for Sweden. Ah, beautifully done! And Spain are in front. A 3-goal run at the start of the second half, and all things change. And even Palička, with 20 saves in the semi-final, can't come on and do the heroics. Little broken wrist. Look at his wrist drop back. A little bit of spin. So a 4-goal run, in fact, either side of the break. And the Swedes are struggling a bit here. Zacharisson, who's a makeshift right back. He's actually a winger, number 32. Bottom of the picture. But they don't have too many other options. That's an attacking foul. There's no goalkeeper. And they took it from the wrong place, and Throwback was looking to make a pass, and the opportunity goes begging. But still, possession is with them. Arnason then running into the defender. So a costly 5-minute spell here at the start of the second half for Sweden, who's conceded 3 goals. Appelgren makes a save. And that's gone out off a defender. It will be a throw-in for Spain as Appelgren tried to get the last touch on it. He was way off. Sarmiento. Entre Rios goes to the wing, bit of space, yes! And suddenly, Spain are running away with this. Even Iker Romero is on his feet. David Balaguer's second goal after coming on at the break. The winger from Nantes in France is making his mark. So Ekberg, who's normally played for about 15 minutes of the matches only on the right wing before Zacharisson's taken over from him, having to play the full time now as Zacharisson is being used as a makeshift right back. He scores there, brings to an end a run of 5 goals without reply, including 4 in the second half. Throwback goes the wrong way, squeezes it in. 3rd goal for Zacharisson, and Ribera can't believe it. Problem with Zacharisson, though, is that at 1.78 m, he's not a jump shooter. And Entre Rios, big gap off the post, but it stays in. Entre Rios' 3rd goal from 6 attempts. Gottfridsson. So Henningsen comes off as Zacharisson goes back in at the right back position. Jeppsson. Sadly, he was so effective in the competition, the left back. I suspect still suffering the effects of that infection that kept him out of the semi-final. Arnesson's shot saved. Arpad Throwback, 4 saves, 3 of them in the second half. And this game is turning as Moros celebrates. And now Guardiola steps off as well, the defense specialist. And Throwback, so often the man who turns games, and he does it so quietly. Some goalkeepers are spectacular, throwing themselves all over the place. He just reads it well, and without the theatrics, covers the angles. Sarmiento. He's fouled on the way through. Caught a bit of a blow off Gottfridsson. Gottfridsson's going to come off as Arneson goes on. No harm done, it appears, for Sarmiento, who's up again. 7.5 minutes played in the second half here, and Swedes, who were leading 2 goals at half-time, are now 2 down. Entre Rios, Sarmiento. And you have to say, Perez de Vargas has played well in the tournament, the Spanish goalkeeper, but when he was injured, when you can call up someone like Arpad Throwback as a replacement, rather than being in the team originally, how fortunate you are. And Ekberg gives away the penalty. And Appelgren and Ekberg having a word with the referee. Let's have a look and see. He put a hand out, and that's, I think, what tipped the balance against him. Maybe tipped the balance against Arinho. So Sule, 4th penalty of the game. Appelgren stays in this time. Saved it! Appelgren deflects it! And finally, Sule's run from 7 meters comes to an end. just got his upper arm onto it and sends it over the goal. 14 saves when the break is on. Possession lost and they pay the price instantly as Arena gets his third goal, and that makes amends for the penalty miss. Arena stealing the ball, and that's their 10th turnover. They are being run ragged here by the Spaniards, Sweden. And the referee saying, let's just calm down. Instruction for Moros, the Barcelona defender who's moving to Paris Saint-Germain next season. Oh, again, it's free throw though. Sweden keep possession. So if Andresson, the second half, has seen his game plan unravel somewhat in the final here. Spain are now 3 goals to the good. It's been a 6-1 turnaround. Arneson looking for the line. It's stolen. The ball is loose. Dujcebaev has it, puts it up. Moros gets away. Arena decides to slow the game down and brings it back again. Entre Rios and Gurbindo and the rest of his teammates jump to their feet to applaud the efforts, and Spain are controlling the second half beautifully. There was the steal by Arena. A moment of inattention, it's all it takes. They are so quick. Arena pounces. And now Pat Sterbic has now made 4 saves in the second half. And Spain are well and truly in control. 10 minutes played in the second half, and it's been a 6-1 exchange for Spain. Aguinalde drops back in on the line. Sarmiento into the wing. The tails are up now. They are playing with a nice flow, the Spaniards. Yes, on the post. May have got a touch, Appelgren. I don't think so, as Entre Rios struggles to get back again. Sweden have got to play this well. Attacking foul. Henningsson runs into Arena. And it's all going wrong for the Swedes. There's the attack. He runs into him. Bit of a help with the hand. And Andresson, in the process, has picked himself up a yellow card on the bench, remonstrating with the decision. So both coaches are now on a yellow. The Icelander letting the emotions get the better of him. So Sarmiento shifts to the left for the moment with Entre Rios. Dujcebaev at right back is waiting wide. He comes in now. Got a bit of a turn of pace. Oh, brilliant! Didn't quite control the ball initially, but when he got it and let rip, that was stunning. Balaguer, 3 goals. And he's only been on court 11 minutes, and Appelgren, his face says it all. The gap is growing and growing here. And Sweden use their 3rd and final team timeout after this goal.
Nu straffas vi försvarsmässigt så att vi har inte med oss i anfallet. Det är där vi behöver lyfta det. Håll bredden! Se till att ni håller kanten där borta. Förutom när ni har möjligt långt in i anfallet att springa förbi era spelare. Jerry istället för Vanne, Birri istället för Linus. Okej? Fortsätt tro det.
Una defensa fuera, ¿vale? Aquí en este lado. Gurbi, haz una defensa ya, sigues tú de todas maneras. Vale, luego hacemos el cambio allá, ¿vale? Y luego cuando vuelvas a entrar, debes tratar de defender, a menos que podamos hacer un cambio largo en algún momento. Seguimos con el trabajo de amplitud, sobre todo en la defensa, cuidado con los 2 contra 2. Vamos a hacer una cosa, han jugado con 7, ¿vale? Si hay un momento determinado que yo aviso, Alex bajará de segundo y tú cierras allá, ¿vale? Un poco el factor sorpresa. Están en 7, ¿vale? Hay un momento determinado que igual, si la bola está en el otro lado, le digo a Alex que baje y él que cierre allá para hacer un poco el factor sorpresa.
So that's it, all team timeouts used now by Sweden as they struggle desperately here in the second half. Just 1 goal in over 11 minutes of play as they've conceded 7, and the initiative has shifted completely to Spain. Ekberg goes in on the line. Zacharisson, they're being pushed back now a long way with this defense. It's very, very active by Spain. Oh, stolen nearly. Balaguer races out. Goes out to the side. It's a throw in. Balaguer, who plays for Nantes in France. He's in fact the 4th top scorer in the French league with 70 goals. Zacharisson. Tolbring has now come on the left wing in place of Hampus Varner. As Jordi Ribera looked anxious in the first half. It's all switched now. It's Andresson who's looking a little bit concerned. Zacharisson into the wing. Oh, Ekberg, he was never going to score there. All Throwback had to do was stand by the post. Zero angle. And it's all gone terribly wrong for Sweden in the second half. And it looks as if Spain might finally break that final curse at the Euros at their 5th attempt. Entre Rios comes on. Spain, who've won the last 3 encounters between these teams, including at Euro 2016 in Poland, 24-22. It's always been tight. They played for bronze at the World Championships in 2011. That was 24-23. Miguel Romero and crowd jumped to their feet again. Balaguer. What a terrific second half, but Henningsson hits back. One of the players making his debut at a major competition, just 22 years of age, who plays for the Swedish champions, Kristianstad. Little windmill feint straight through the middle. While at the other end, Balaguer, superb skill with his arm right behind, a bit of a twist of the wrist to beat Appelgren. Spain who qualified for these Euros with maximum points in Group 3 ahead of Austria, who qualified with them, Bosnia and Finland. Sweden were top of Group 6. Lost away to Montenegro, the only team that came through from that group with them. Good save by Appelgren. Tolbring. Jesper Nielsen, he just gets a free throw. Jesper Nielsen, who started briskly with 4 early goals, the PSG line player, but has completely dried up since then. There's the foul again, and Dujcebaev holding his post. He was there first. See that action again at the other end, so play resumes then for Sweden. It's very deep defence. I can tell you that the all-star team has been named before this match. Jesper Nielsen is in the all-star team on the line. The MVP for the tournament is Gottfridsson, the playmaker, while on the Spanish side, Sole is named as right winger, Dujcebaev as right back in that all-star team. Ah, Gottfridsson gets the penalty. Lovely breakthrough by the MVP. We were just talking about him in the tournament. But as he goes to shoot, a little shove by Gurbindo, who just come back on again. And he gets his marching orders. Look at that, cut through, beat him well, and a little push in the air. And Andresson gets his wish. It's a penalty and a 2-minute suspension. This might just help the Swedes try and settle in. Ekberg. Oh, he misses! It's off the post, goes out to the side, and Moros, who was standing on the halfway line, is jumping up and down. Look at him at the back in the centre. Reaction of the defence specialist. Well, even when he's not touching the ball, Throwback is causing problems as Ekberg turns away in disgust. 2 penalties missed now for Sweden. The goalkeeper is out for Spain, Sarmiento, Entre Rios. And 2-minute suspension for the Swedes. It's Daria, his second of the game, 26-year-old who plays in Germany for Bergische. Right smile from Andresson. Looks up at the clock, and we're midway through the second half. It'll also tell him that they're still trailing by 4 goals. So change on the line as in comes Figueras. Much lighter, nimbler line player. Ah, brilliant! Raúl Entre Rios, goal number 4, and Daria can only look on. Ah, save! The Swedes tried to take the quick throw off as Throwback was racing for goal. And Arena says to him, don't worry, you didn't be bothered. I had it covered all along. Well, in fact, Dujcebaev jumps and lobs it away. And instead of getting an easy goal, they've lost possession. There was the goal at the other end, though. That did go in for Entre Rios. Players just stopped briefly. A bit of mopping was required. So both teams short-handed at the moment. Goalkeepers come out once more. Throwback. Sarmiento looks for the wing. It's intercepted. Tolbring. Ah, free throw inside the area, they say. Called against Tolbring. 22-year-old who plays for Rhein-Neckar Löwen in the German Bundesliga. He's actually teammates there with Guardiola, Spanish defense specialist. I should say, as well as Appelgren and Palichka, the two goalkeepers for Sweden, as Jordi Ribera bellows instructions. Spain are happy to run the clock down. They're going to be back to full strength in a second as Arena returns on court. And they are back to full strength again. Aguinalde returns during the suspension. They just put in Figueras to try and get a slightly more mobile line. That's over the turnover, and Appelgren puts the ball up court. But the Spaniards are back so quickly that Sweden decide to walk the ball up the court. And after Appelgren's 11 saves in the first half, Spaniards have improved their shooting considerably. He's only made 4 now in the second as Gottfriedsen tries to go through. Brought down by Moros. He's straight up like a jack in the box. And Moros remonstrates with Gottfriedsen. Water ducks back for him, frankly, as we see that attempted throw off. And Nielsen just needed to give a bit more height because in his way was Dujcebaev. 13 minutes to go in this final. Sweden, who've managed just 2 goals in 17 minutes of play. Well, Spain has hit them for 9 and look good for their money here. Gottfriedsen, Zacharisson, clever play by the Spaniards, but in coming out to block the cross-court pass, he left the wing open, but Throwback to the rescue. And what a game he is having. Ekberg had to lean across, though he was on the wrong wing, shooting right-handed. And the agility of the man is unbelievable. Throwback. He was part of the Spanish team, of course, that won the World Championships in 2013, along with 7 of his teammates here today. It appears at the moment as if they're on course to add a European title. There is such a flow to their attack now. Clever play, brilliant penalty. Fouled in the act of shooting Aguinalde, but it was a sublime pass into him. Straight for the 7-meter Gubica. But Entre Rios, what a match he's having, the captain. So after Sule missed the earlier one, Dujcebaev steps up. Straight through the legs of the keeper. Second goal in the game for Dujcebaev. And this game is fast running away from Sweden. So Sweden bring on Lukas Nielsen for the first time in the game, the Kiel left back, as they take off their goalkeeper and try a 5-2 attack. Well, frankly, you've got to gamble now. Good defence. The Spaniards are so quick at putting you off the pass and isolating the ball carrier. There it is. And the empty goal beckons. Easy goal for Spain, and that really puts the pressure on the Swedes. Are they finally going to put to rest the ghost of Euro finals? And Sweden have been completely and utterly frozen out of this final in the second half. Well, a good effect there for Lukas Nilsson, the 21-year-old. It was a big new find for Swedish handball when he appeared in 2016 at the European Championships for them. As we see that effort again, and probably Balaguer's easiest goal ever. 5 for him. We have less than 10 minutes remaining for Sweden to somehow, at this stage, find a magic wand somewhere. Oh, brilliant. And if it's not coming in from the captain, it's Sarmiento who's providing the ball into Aguinalde. And the gap is growing and growing, and Sweden don't have an answer. This deep defence is completely unsettling, and they can't get the running play going. I do wonder if maybe they should just try Cederholm at right back, although Zachariasson on the ball now is being as effective as he possibly can be. That won't count. That's a shame, because Nilsson had found a way through past Jesper Nilsson, the line player. But the whistle had gone long before that, as Ribera is waving frenetically on the sideline. Pushed across to Gottfridsson. Intercepted again! And they just cannot get their range with this deep defence. And Spain, time and again, are stealing the ball and are giving Sweden a masterclass in defence here. Quick ball across, but that was just manna from heaven for Aitor Arinho, the 25-year-old Barcelona winger. Balaguer waiting on the far side. New coach Jordi Ribera, who's really been looking to the future as they score yet another. Duicebaev is third of the game, and it's getting bigger and bigger, this lead. We're in danger of seeing a 10-goal plus win here. Lukas Nilsson fighting with Balaguer, and the referee say, let's calm things down. Duicebaev takes a moment to catch his breath, but he gets to come off anyway. Guardiola will come on as we see that goal there, as the gap just grows and grows. Duicebaev plays for Kielce in Poland. His younger brother was in the Spanish team at the start of the competition, Daniel Duicebaev, but was replaced. Gottfridsson. Lukas Nilsson. We've got a 2-minute suspension.
2-minute suspension for Spain player number 20.
Off goes the defence specialist, Viran Moros de Argila. As he hangs on to Gottfridsson on the back of his shirt. Moros, he will join his national team goalkeeper Corrales in Paris next season. And indeed Jesper Nilsson, Swedish line player, number 36, who's running out and dropping back in again now. He's been trying it, but it hasn't really been opening up the defence. That was nice hide by Jeppsson. Stolen, but there may have been a foot on the ball. It's been given back to Sweden. Jeppsson's come back on again. They have missed that, there is no doubt about it. Quickly played, Ekberg, yes! And the captain gets his third goal of the game. Ekberg, who plays for Kiel. He's given a huge angle for it.
7 minutes to go.
Andresson, some relief, but I'm afraid they are a long way off the pace, Sweden. That was their 4th goal in 23 minutes of play in the second half. We have less than 7 minutes remaining. Spain have one hand on the trophy. Little handoff, Arinho. Dummies the first shot, goes for the second, but that's a free throw, which is fine. It lets the clock run down. David Balaguer. No space in the Spanish team for veterans like Victor Tomas on the right wing, as Balaguer and Sule make their mark. And with passive play beckoning, it's all still going in. Daniel Sarmiento, who plays for Saint-Raphael in France, gets his first goal in the final. 26-18, and this has been a hugely one-sided second half. Jeppsson to Ekberg. There is a bit of space against the short-handed defence. Well, that's nice, and that's what they've been missing. Simon Jeppsson, the left-back who plays for Flensburg, who was sick and missed the semi-final. I would say visibly is not fully recovered, hence has not been used as much as he could. And Arinho, close but not close enough. Sweden, I'm afraid, with the loss of Lagergren and Jakobsen, the right-backs both with concussion, having to be replaced. And Jeppsson, through illness, have really struggled to have any power at the back. And trying to drive through to 6 meters against this very mobile Spanish defence really hasn't led them anywhere. Spain back at full strength again. The whistle's already gone, it'll be a free throw. Sarmiento brings the ball back as Lukas Nilsson fouls him. Ball stolen. Henningsson managed to get ahead of everyone and beats Throwback. Second goal of the game for Henningsson. One of only 2 players on the Swedish side who play their club handball in Sweden. But I'm afraid for Andresson, it's not going to be the dream final as we see the comfortable steal by Lukas Nilsson drop down for Henningsson to finish off. Nevertheless, if you'd said before that Sweden would be in the final, a lot of people would have said, surely not. They played probably their best match, I would say, against Croatia, their smoothest match, and then showed the best fight possible, of course, in the semi-final against Denmark, when it was just grit and determination with a remodeled back line, as Arinho scores there, his 4th goal. Throwback stays focused, and time has run out, I'm afraid, on the Swedes. Look again as the ball is passed across Arinho, and nothing that Palička could do there. Look at the reaction of the players, and that's what appears to be on its way to Spain. Finally, at the 5th attempt. They have been one of the unluckiest teams in the competition. Before this Euro, they came in with 7 semi-final appearances and never a title, as Lukas Nilsson gets his 2nd. Finally, they're going to break that curse. And it'll be Jordi Ribera who leads them to the title. They have been world champions, but never European champions at Spain. Long attack by the Spaniards. Dummy by Dujcebaev. Clips the post, stays in. Beautiful. Dujcebaev with those quick darting runs. Tolbring nearly stolen. Jesper Nielsen gets the ball and scores. It's his first goal of the half. Takes him to 5. He scored 4 very early goals and has been silent ever since, Jesper Nielsen. There was Dujcebaev's breakthrough. Clips the post, but it stays in. Great shot there. The power, and the whole bench are on their feet because they know the title is finally going to head to Spain. They have waited so long. Sweden have battled hard, but they have been completely outmaneuvered here in the second half. 16-8 to Spain. Ball stolen, Tolbring's away. Hesitates briefly, cuts back inside, and Throwback saves. The big man was there again with his 8th save. Unbelievable. 3 days ago, he's comfortably relaxing back home. And all of a sudden, he got the call, get on the plane. He arrived literally the night before the semi-final, made 3 fantastic saves against France from the 7-meter line here, got called into play when Corrales misfired in the final. And he has broken Swedish hearts. 28-22 with the minutes ticking away. Dario, that's very high. Had that been early in the match, he might well have got his marching orders. Luckily for him, he doesn't here, because that would be his third suspension as Throwback brings the smiles out of the players on the bench. The Spaniards who've played a superb tournament. And they are going to be able to celebrate in full in 1.5 minutes. Gogni has come on. Sarmiento, long-range shot, good save, Appelgren-Mev just got a foot onto it, knocked it onto the post. It's still in play though, and Throwback puts it back to Spain. Dujcebaev, unconcerned, the smile is there. And the celebrations are going on all around the arena. The bench are on their feet, hugging. We are inside the last minute, and Spain finally break the Euro curse. Sarmiento, they were given a rough time in the first half, but in the second half, Sweden were never in it. They were absolutely taken apart by Spain. Throwback lets it go through almost by Ekberg. 35 seconds. Andresson, well, all credit for him to get his team through to the final. They played a superb game against Denmark, a real fight to get here. But they have to admit that the better team was in front of them today. And Spain, with their defensive rocks in the middle, Moros de Argila, Guardiola, are going to finally take the trophy that has eluded them so often. They are turning the ball around at the end. The Swedes have given up. That's it, and they're on. And Sweden are beaten. Spain finally win the European Championship at the 5th attempt, and deservedly so. A masterful second half. Throwback broke their hearts, the Swedes, and Andresson had no answers. They were in trouble very quickly with a 6-1 turnaround in about 8 minutes. And tears are flowing on the Swedish side, I'm afraid, but for Spain, the relief, could they have borne it to lose a game? But the final score here in Zagreb, Spain 29, Sweden 23. Oh dear. But still, Sweden will be on the podium. It is a big story for them, but Jordi Ribera is the hero. Aguinaldo, he gave 100% as he always does. And Ribera, who took over after Spain failed to qualify for the Olympic Games in Rio, where ironically at the time he was coaching Brazil, has led the Spaniards to the Euro title. Daria and his teammates look on disconsolate. They deserved it. Undoubtedly the best team won here today. The Swedes were competitive for 30 minutes, maybe 25, but then Spain got into gear. So we are ready now for the medal ceremony here at Euro 2008 in the Arena Zagreb in Croatia. The presentation party making their way to the centre, led by Michael Wiederer, the president of the European Handball Federation, Predrag Boskovic, vice president, and then Tomislav Grahovac, president of the Croatian Federation, and Damir Poljak of the organizing committee. And there are the coveted medals that they have battled away for the past 17 days. That is what it is all about. First up will be the bronze medalists. First team to come out are France, the bronze medalists. Earlier today, they beat Denmark 32-29, led out by Nikola Karabatic, who won the Man of the Match award there for his superb leadership. And let's not forget, not a few goals either. They collect their medal from the presentation party, Quentin Mahé. Many of them, of course, have been there and done it before. France, the current world champions. They have been 3 times European champions. But for 5 of the players here in the team, they are making their debut. Claire is one of them. Abalo, one of the old guard who was there. In addition, Afcourt, Tourna, Coste and Lagarde. The last Lagarde, number 7, who was called up midway through the competition when the left back injury curse continued to strike them, and Guesson was out, but he is back to collect his medal. He played his part. There's Remili, one of the newer players in the squad, although not making a debut here. And new look France still get on the podium. Sorendo, the new captain after the retirement of Omeyer, and Didier Dinard, his assistant, Guillaume Gilles, 2 great players of their time who won this title as players. They will have to wait a little longer to win it as coaches, but still they're on the podium. Plenty to smile about for France. Well done to them. Time for the photo. Vincent Gérard, the goalkeeper who made the all-star team. Played a superb tournament. There he is alongside Nikola Karabatic, who has a new role really now as mentoring the young players in this squad. What amazing depth of talent they have. Dika Mem on the right there of the players line up. He's next to Guillaume Gilles, part of the new generation. He couldn't play, sadly, in the bronze medal match, having injured himself in the semi-final. But he has a bright future as well.
The team of France has to be awarded a special bronze trophy to the captain, Monsieur.
Lovely scenes from the fans chanting Allez les Bleus. And the presentation of a special bronze trophy to Cédric Sorendo, a Barcelona line player. So well done, France, the first to step onto the podium. They take the bronze medal here. Just the one defeat. Unfortunately, it was their worst game probably for many, many, many years. But it came in the semi-final against Spain. But they picked themselves up well against Denmark and made the Danes do all the chasing. And even when the Danes got close, Karabatic simply returned and restored order and got them all going again.
Congratulations to your performance. A great championship for you with some tough games.
So next up, it will be time for the silver medal. The presentation party return to the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, clap your hands for Team Up.
So disappointed at losing. But it is still a great achievement. Sweden takes silver. They had all manner of problems coming into the latter stages of the competition after losing Lagergren and Jakobsen to injuries, both concussed and having to be replaced. Jeppsson, who was sick for the semi-final, although they still won it, even with all the rearranging at the back. But Jeppsson, although back in the team today, was visibly not fully fit and could play only a small part as they were well beaten. They held their own for 30 minutes, but I think even they have to admit here today that it was a masterclass by Spain in the second half that took Los Hispanos to the top step. Gus Nilsson, he forgets he's done so much already there with his ponytail. He's still just 21. Already 117 goals scored for his country. Holbein, who collects his medal, who came on for about 15 seconds in the semi-final. He missed a penalty just before half-time and then took the shot that gave possession back to Denmark with 5 seconds to go in regular time, and they equalised after Hansen made an amazing pass to Sven, who scored. And I would have felt so sorry for him had they lost that, but luckily Sweden went on to win the extra time, make their way to the final. And Gottfridsson, the MVP of the tournament, you've got to break into a smile at some point. He still wishes it was a different result, but they were nowhere near the Spaniards in the second half. They had no answer for the very, very active and deep defense. Andresson, though, picks up the first medal for Sweden. Since the old days of 2002, when they won the European Championship last with Wislander and his generation of players, the Benga boys. So Sweden, silver medal it is. A big achievement. It wasn't to be 5 golds from 5 finals in European Championships. And the final members of staff coming through for the Swedish team, who play such an important role in making sure that the team is as prepared as it can be. I'm afraid they still look so dejected. It is hard because they have been so convincingly beaten here in the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, clap your hands for the captain.
But great achievement by them. They lost 3 matches on the way to the final, but somehow still made it through. It may in itself be quite an achievement. They battled hard, but for 30 minutes they were in contention, and then after that, Spain were just in a class of their own. Oh dear, all rather somber looking.
Smile for a photo. That's great.
Well, I'd like to say that they were delighted to have the silver medal, but they all still look in shock. It is tough, but they have a good generation of players, Sweden. And with a fully fit team, who knows what might happen. So finally, the moment they have been waiting for since the beginning of this competition, indeed since the very first edition of the European Championships.
Something special for the best among the best.
Are you ready? They are. Sterbeck is at the front. Amazing show here, heralding the arrival of the new European champions. That was some show.
That's right. Clap your hands for Team of Spain. España.
Yes, can you believe it? Finally, European champions, Spain. It will be a very, very long party tonight. Led out by Raúl Entrerrios, the Spanish team who won The final convincingly against Sweden by 29 goals to 23 in the end, and take the one title that they have so desperately wanted. After losing 4 finals, they had been in 7 semi-finals before this European Championship and never managed to step onto the top step of the podium. But here, today, they finally do it. They do it with a young team. Great players coming through. Ferran Souley making his debut at a major competition. Not only does he get a medal, wins the title, but even gets named in the all-star team. There is Fernandez, who's so sadly injured early in the tournament. The left winger from Logroño played just 9 minutes in the tournament. Sarmiento, the general in the center, and the trophy that they have been so keen to lay their hands on. Let's not forget also Dujcebaev, named in the all-star team as the best right back. And there they are, the new European champions. They have played a superb tournament. And now it just remains for them to be handed the trophy. It's the goalkeeper, Perez de Vargas, who had to be replaced by Sterbic. What a replacement to have in your back pocket, eh? Arpad Sterbic. Perez de Vargas, who certainly played his part in the competition with 52 saves before his injury.
We are ready.
There it is. The trophy will be taken by the president of the European Handball Federation, Michael Wiederer, and handed to Raúl Entre Rios. And the new European champion, Spain! The confetti, the color that they have been fighting to put their hands on for so many years. It's gold. Aguinalde, who played his usual big role, the line player.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the champions, and every champion has its rights as a European winner to listen to its own anthem. Please rise.
Lovely pictures.
On the national anthem of the European champions.
And now, at last, the anthem of Spain.
Spain. Anthem nacional.
So the celebrations can continue long into the night. Of course, the next edition of the Men's European Championship will be jointly hosted by Sweden, Norway and Austria. The young Swedish team may yet be back to celebrate, but for today, it is Spain who celebrate, the European champions of 2018. We do hope you've enjoyed our coverage over these last 2.5 weeks from Croatia, as we leave you with these wonderful pictures of celebrations for Spain. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again very soon. But for now, from me, Paul Bray, goodbye.